Losing your passport can be one of the most stressful things that could happen to you on your travel adventures. In today's video, I'm going to cover some best practices to do before you travel and what to do if you're on your travel adventure and you lose your passport. It's Eunice in Theory of Simple, and I have been traveling both personally and professionally for over 40 years and making some mistakes along the way so you don't have to. In today's video, we're going to cover passport best practices and what to do if you lose your passport on your travel adventure. So let's get started. Number one, while you're actually booking and looking to do your travels, take out your passport and make sure that your passport has at least 6 months of validation from the date you are returning home to the United States. So what that means is if you're actually going out on March 1st and you're coming back on March 14th, from March 14th, you want to count out 6 months and make sure you have at least that long left on your passport, because some countries may not allow you to come into the country if you have less time on it. This will give you enough time then to go ahead and apply for a new passport, and that you get it in time before your travel adventures, and you'll use your new passport number then to apply for all of your travel plans. Okay, you have your passport, you've checked that you have enough time on your passport to travel with it. What do you do while you're still at home? One of the first things you want to do is open up your passport like this and take a photo of it and store that on your phone and up in the cloud, and give that access to someone who's very close to you so they can get it in case your phone or something is actually stolen. The next thing you want to do is you want to turn to the very back of your passport. There's a little barcode at the bottom of this page, and you want to make sure you take a picture of that as well. And if you have any visas that are in your passport, you're going to want to take photos of those as well, and keep all of those in a secure folder up in the cloud, and also probably in your phone so that you have access to those just in case any of these things get lost. I would also share that folder with someone I love, maybe a loved one or a dear friend, so that if for some reason you lost your phone and your passport and everything, you could reach out to them either through text or through email or whatever way you can and say, look, I need you to get some information for me, and make sure that they are able to access that. The next thing I would do is I would print out colored copies of all of those things that you've taken a picture of, and including credit cards and things like that, so that you have some sort of physical copy of things just in case things like this do get lost or stolen during your travel adventures, and you can recall on those. There are even some countries like the Schengen area of Europe that will actually allow you to use a copy instead of the actual original when you're passing through borders, so that's helpful. Sometimes then you won't have to pull out your actual physical passport, but you always want to have this at the ready just in case. The Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or S.T.E.P Program, is a great program. It allows you to see if there are any travel advisories, or if the embassies need to reach you or family and friends need to reach you, they can reach you through the program. It could be a natural disaster, it could be weather alerts, it could even be civil unrest, but it's a way for helping you keep safe while you're traveling, and you can enroll here at step.state.gov. Your passport carries a lot of your personal information that is needed for travel, and that's in this little chip here that's in the cover of your passport, which is why if you're going to be carrying something like a passport sleeve or cover, they ask you to remove it, because they're going to put that down on the scanner and actually scan what's in here, and also take a look at your picture to make sure you match what's in the ID. In the event that you want to carry a passport sleeve, there are all kinds out there. A lot of them say that they're RFID. The thing with your passport is, as long as the cover is closed, you are not exposed. But as soon as you open up this cover, it can be exposed. So you don't want to be walking around with, your cover open or anything like that. You want to try to keep this closed, maybe even keep it in a sleeve or a pocket. And then sometimes it's helpful to put it into some sort of passport holder like this. This one has a little space for an Apple AirTag, and this could come in really handy. For example, if you were out and about and you had to use your passport for some reason and you left it somewhere, your phone would let you know where this is, so you could go back and retrieve it. So this might be something really handy to have on your travel adventures. Another great thing to have is a little money belt or some sort of super thin carrier that can carry things like your passport, and some money or your credit cards and things like that in here, and keep it close on your body so that it's not dangling on a purse or in a pocket where somebody can get it. These are great to have if you are in countries where you feel like you might be a little more vulnerable to having something stolen. This is a great thing to utilize. Many countries do not require you to have your ID on you at all times, and that means that if it were me, I don't carry it on me at all times, and I will leave it in the hotel safe. That way I know it's locked up and it's not going to get lost and left somewhere. However, there are times where countries are going to require you to have your passport on you, and you want to do that. You want to make sure that you have it on you, because they could stop you at some point and say, I need to see your ID. Or sometimes even if you're buying something in certain countries, they need to see your passport to maybe even give you certain prices and things like that. So just check with each country to see if it's something where they're going to require you to have your passport on you, or if they will accept a copy of your passport or some other form of identification. And if they require it, to always make sure you're carrying it. Now, if you're in a hotel and they don't have a safe, depending on the country or how safe you feel, I might just carry this with me at all times anyway, because I don't know if it could be stolen out of my hotel room. So you'll just have to see what's best for you. If you're feeling like you just want to have it on you, that's great. Use something that keeps it close to you and something that will allow you to feel safe carrying it around. If you are on your travel adventure and you have found out that you don't have your passport, the first thing to do is just stop and think, where did I use it last? Was it in my hotel room? Was it somewhere I took it out of the hotel and brought it with me? Did I stop at a store or someplace where I may have used it? And try to retrace your steps. And if you go back and you can't find it, then you want to notify the local authorities first and let them know that your passport was stolen. And that's where having those physical copies are really going to come in handy, because you're going to be able to give those to the authorities and let them copy down information so that you have that for them to go ahead and start, searching or seeing if this passport turns up. Sometimes somebody picks it up and turns it in somewhere. It might take a while for them to register it. Sometimes it's just stolen and it's gone, but it's always good to carry those physical pieces of documentation around with you so you have them just in case. Next thing you need to do is contact the embassy. So call ahead, see if they are open and if there's something where you can go in immediately, or what hours they have, so you can go in there and bring all of your documentation that you have with you to try to recover and get a new passport. Now, it means you'll need a passport application form, which is usually available at the embassy, and a passport size photo. And many embassies have a photo booth in them, so don't worry about bringing a little photo with you. They usually have a photo booth there, or some local place that you can get a photo for your new passport. Now, they're probably going to ask you for the police report, so you're going to want to make sure you have that information, as well as the photocopies of everything from your passport. And they also may ask for your travel itinerary and tickets and things like that, so keep those things with you until your trip is completely over. They may need to validate what dates you came in on what airlines and what dates you're supposed to fly out and on what airlines. The next thing you want to do is put a fraud alert out so that your passport is not misused and someone doesn't just take it and start using your identity. Really, there's a whole nother video that needs to be done on that, because once you get back to the States, you're going to want to do a whole fraud alert thing that it's basically what you would do if your identity was stolen, just to protect yourself. And that's really a whole nother video. Now, if you're going to be traveling really quickly after that, the embassy will try to rush it through as fast as possible and sometimes get you a document that will allow you to get home but limit how you can travel. But it'll probably be able to at least get you through border security and onto your airline. So there are some steps you can take to help you get home, but it's really important that in the very beginning that you do these things like making copies and carrying them with you so that you have something to help identify you during your travel adventure. I hope that gave you some ideas for your passport best practices so that you feel safe during your travel adventures. If you like this video, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more travel videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Until the next time, remember to juice life, drink the joy, keep life simple. Make sure you keep your passport nice and safe and with you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.